All right, guys, Jesse here at NAWCQ. We just got done playing a domain game, and I'm here with
Logan Miller.
Oh, you already have a mic. What do I do?
Oh, we get double audio. It's cool.
So, yeah, we just got done playing a game. Logan, was this your first game?
It was, yeah. It's my first time ever playing the format.
Oh, okay. And I'm kind of surprised because you came with an awesome deck.
I appreciate it, man.
And okay, so I'm always really interested to hear people's first experiences with it. So
Yeah.
when you first heard about it, what were your thoughts?
So I play a little bit of Commander, and I wanted to take that to my favorite game, Yu-Gi-Oh! I looked online, I saw a domain format, was very excited to play it, and I wasn't sure how to deck build, and so I looked at some resources, found domain format, found the Discord, a lot of useful resources, and
So the Discord helped out?
Yeah, a
Did
lot.
my channel help out?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
I like hearing that.
Learning those the key staples. I would have never have thought to play like Avarice, Slash Draw, crazy cards.
Yeah, that's an aspect of getting into domain. You look at cards in a different way, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's completely changed my perspective on card value, because that's not a skill that I'm usually tested on as someone who plays a lot of advanced.
Right.
Cards like DD Post randomly come up as these crazy staples.
I got a whole video on it. Check it out. Okay, and then after just playing now, how did it live up to it? What'd you think?
It was definitely more hectic than I expected. There was a lot more interaction on my turn, throughout the turns. Not just hand traps, but random pops, random negates, a lot of recurring engine pieces. It was definitely a lot to manage, so you got to make sure your engine is tight.
Right, and for the most part, I think we all played pretty well as far as understanding how priority was going and all that stuff too. So that definitely helped out. And we were also pretty lax about remembering triggers and stuff. I think I drew a card after the fact, with the feed.
Necroquip.
Yeah, the Necroquip.
Yep.
So that's one thing I like. So going into the format, what was it that you think you should build?
So I wanted to build around my favorite card, Diviner of the Herald. I knew that I wanted to have something that was a flexible starter. I looked at a couple of them, like Elysium. I thought about Scrap Recycler, but I knew that a fairy that got me into any other of my fairy engines would be something that I wanted to play around.
So you picked a starter on purpose?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, well, dude, that was an awesome game. Oh, and I gotta, you'll see in my video, dude, a fiber jar got flipped, bro.
It doesn't get crazier than that.
It doesn't get crazier than that. And the buildup was crazy because he used Pot of Avarice to shuffle it back. He had no cards in hand. This man had no cards in hand. Pot of Avarice, drew two, dead-faced, set a card, and passed. And it was the freaking fiber jar that he shuffled back, dude. It was crazy.
Only format where that happens.
The only format. Cool. Well, do you want to talk about your deck?
Absolutely, man.
All right, I'm ready to go whenever you are, man. So who'd you pick the deck master?
Okay, so for the deck master, we chose Diviner of the Herald.
Oh, yeah.
Favorite card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Great starter. It came up a lot that it was versatile. You can send from extra deck to pop cards or add with Arclight, or you can just send any fairy monster. You have a couple of reanimation spells that I'll go over later to kind of help facilitate it. And we'll see what we do.
Competitors, I need
one of the key cards, obviously, Christia. This is probably what I would say is the centerpiece. Trying to get this out, trying to protect it with a lot of protection spells. Obviously, if this sticks, you get to stack your opponent out of the game. Very solid. We play a couple of other big fairies, Protecting Spirit Logoth, Hymnir, and Trias Hierarchia. These are all pretty solid sends. You want to have her in your hand. This card, I would say, is part of the one card with Diviner, or 1.5, I should say. This gets you to any continuous spell, which we play a good few of. They're very solid.
Explain that card, because that looks like pack filler, bro.
Yeah, no,
what
it is pack filler. It's a pack filler common from Alan. But whenever it's sent to graveyard, you can special summon it out, kind of like Trias, and then you contribute 3 fairies from field or hand to set any continuous spell in Yu-Gi-Oh! From your deck. And, there are a lot of good ones.
There's a lot of good ones. Yeah, we'll see those in a second.
Yeah, so this card enables a lot of very strong plays, and of course, Trias in a fairy deck makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
For some of the Diviner targets, we have Consecrated Light, Ava, and Dawn Angel Camby. And of course, we have Low in the deck as well. Consecrated Light, pretty good flexibility target. If there's a lot of dark decks and they're doing pretty well, you can float into this. Ava, it's a good Beatrice target too, but of course, being able to add any of your light fairies that are level 2 or lower, very solid. And Dawn Angel Camby is kind of this tech card for me. You can special summon it as long as you only control fairies. And because Diviner is level modulating, you can basically summon any fairy from your deck by tributing her in Diviner. So kind of flexible in that way. We play both Shufflers. They're both fairies. You can send them off Diviner. You play Painful Choice, of course, so these are very good targets for those. Not only is it good interruptions, of course, you want to be able to recycle.
Yeah. Double-edged sword is really good.
We play Voiceless Voice cards because you can bridge in them pretty easily. One of pretty much everything. I wouldn't cut with anything. Of course, they can be bricks and singleton, but when you're able to bridge into it with your one card starter that you'll always have access to, this engine's very solid. I wouldn't play a deck without Diviner that didn't have all these.
Yeah, it worked out really good.
Yeah. They're recursive, they're negates, it's good. Obviously, I'm playing a light deck. These cards are very solid. I ended up not playing Tracked or Lurie because I thought it would be unlikely to draw Engraver, and I didn't want to commit to too many bricks. I thought that Moon was probably just my best starter for the Engraver package. I was willing to play Sancted and Paradise because they're kind of recursive, and obviously it lets me my Fiendspith cards be an interruption if I don't get to commit to them. I can't play Caesar or Necroquip, so we ended up having to play, I guess, a tighter package, if you will.
Yeah.
One of my favorite parts about this deck is the Brilliant Fusion package. These are all light fairies. Seraphinite is a light fairy.
Dude, I lost my mind when you played this.
Yeah, this card is sick.
What'd you search that with?
You can set it off of the Divine Follower and activate it, send it any fairy or any light.
Yeah.
Super versatile card, lets you go plus, like, literally this card prints 4 bodies just by itself.
Yeah.
It's very powerful. And being able to set it, you can do, because you get the additional normal summon for the rest of the turn off Seraphinite, you can send Yugioh off the Brilliant Fusion, add it back with M7, and then additional normal summon it off the field.
Gosh.
So your one card basically uses Brilliant Fusion as the additional normal to get Yugioh into rotation.
Nice.
So that card's very solid. I played a small Runic package. I didn't play like Fountain or anything like that. But I thought these cards were extremely flexible because you can search Hugin. Being able to special Hugin onto your field allows you to protect yourself from dark holes. Heavy Storm's very good against this deck because you play a lot of continuous spells. Your Voices Engine like needs to stick. And so
Also, it's literally just tech against like Heavy Storm and stuff.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow,
yeah.
that's so cool.
And so, of course, there are like flexible removal spells as well. You can Destruction a Stacks card.
That's so big brain.
So these felt very solid.
Yeah.
So we'll do that. I also play Munin for life point gain in case the game goes long. But
Yeah.
and that's it for like I guess the engines. We play a couple of reanimation spells. These 3 are pretty solid. Obviously, getting Christie back in rotation.
How's spell card been?
Yeah, it is really solid. I mean, Christie doesn't have to activate for it to be valuable, so you can just throw it onto the field. And of course, being an interruption or being able to summon your opponent's floodgates or like their powerful guys. Having to wait a turn to activate their effects doesn't really matter too much because turns fly, right?
Yeah.
And so if I summon like a power card that lets me draw or something like that, there's a lot of value there. For other broken Yu-Gi-Oh cards, we play these guys.
Oh my gosh, Mirage on Nightmare, bro.
Yeah, Mirage Nightmare, you can set it. And one of the value things is because Hymnir destroys it in the end phase, you'll never have to discard it.
You never have to discard.
So if you empty your hand and you don't want to set Brilliant Fusion or you've gone through it, you can just activate Mirage, draw 4, and then it dies in the end phase.
Oh my gosh,
so it's a great way to refill.
That's so good. And Branded Regain is so good, even not in branded decks.
No, I mean, this card just obviously has value. I expect my opponents to have some banishing, right, for the whites, or maybe for mine if they play Bestials.
Like, in our game, I purposely avoided banishing Light and Dark monsters.
Yeah, I mean, you have to, because otherwise this card can get really out of rotation.
Yeah.
And you have some ways to banish. Like, you want to be able to recycle your Hymnir. It's a continuous spell, so you can set it off the Divine Follower. Your Saphira gets banished, you can put that back. There's just a lot of recursion that you can do, and of course, every other card in this set, you can imagine is pretty broken. So I felt pretty good about all those. Onto non-engine. We have, I guess this is kind of engine, but we have Talent, Avarice, and Thrust. I feel like Thrust is like almost a mainstay in every format or in every game, just like being able to search any normal spell, which you have plenty of.
For sure.
Why not? Avarice. This is really the only recycling card that I have because I felt like I had like a Voiceless Engine, which was recycling. I had
Keldo
cards. I had like Shufflers, right? So I didn't feel like I needed to play like Slash Draw or Pot of Acquisitiveness. I felt like I had a good handle on recycling my engine. On to non-engine, we'll go Dark Ruler, Duster, Droplet, Dark Hole, Econ, Change of Heart, Cosmic Raigeki. All of these cards obviously have wide applications, my favorite being Enemy Controller. I played this in proper Voiceless Voice for a while. This card's crazy because you can normal summon Diviner, tribute it with Econ, trigger its effect, take a guy, you just go like way 2+ off of this activation.
Right, when you can plus off the tributing part, it's great.
I want to play as many cards that tribute it as possible. There's surprisingly not many. Metamorphosis is one of them.
Let's go.
I think we went over that. And obviously I can cheat out Lacrima by sending a 4. So there's just a lot of applications for cards that tribute. So I want to play as many as possible. On to Monster non-engine, we play Ghost Ogre, Heralds, Dominus Purge, some Baylor, Denko Sekka, Eldritch, Nib. We play all 3 fairies and some hand traps. All of these cards, to me, I felt like they made sense. Dominus Purge, I actually like played no contradictions, which was funny because in like other versions I had some. I guess Kurikara is like one of them, but it felt very fine to play. I didn't have any missing value. Eldritch was a common Foolish Burial target through Brilliant Fusion or Painful Choice. This card's very recursive. I play a lot of spell traps, and I have a lot of spell traps come back to me. So having a 3,500 guy that sticks can be very
helps
valuable.
seal the deal.
Denko Sekka was a last-minute addition. I felt like it was kind of strange because Diviner wanted to be my main normal summon, but I figured if there were any like floodgate decks, or if I was going second into some like back row heavy boards, this would be like a better heavy duster. And that is all for the main deck. I think it's like 25 non-engine in total. I wanted to play a little bit more, but I thought that I didn't want to compromise. My engine is a little bricky already, so a lot of the extra deck. We obviously played the full Fiendsman package, Moon, Sequence, this, and then these guys. This is what I would say is like the game plan after turns like 3 and 4. This is a very hard engine to like remove with, because even if it gets banished, you have Lacrima. Requiem's always coming back. Even if you get like Darkhold, Requiem is coming back. So even on your opponent's turns, you feel like you have some agency over your engine.
It's kind of crazy that everything shuffles its back.
Yes,
it's so nuts.
This is a very powerful engine. So if you're playing a light deck, I wouldn't see a reason not to play this.
Right, for sure.
For utility links, play Apo, she's a fairy, and Protector Moon. I'm not totally sold on this card, but it is consistent removal. Tribute a guy, right? Tributing's pretty cool. Remove some fairies. So it's solid. And Appaloosa is for like those like crazy blowout turns. Especially if you're going first. You know, they have like 2 battle phases that are skipped, so your Appo is like most likely going to stick. So it felt okay. Some other flex spots. We have Intis for Diviner. Obviously a very strong card, being able to pop. The Seraphonite, which you summon off Brilliant Fusion, is the only target, but getting additional normal in this deck can be very solid since you have a lot of big guys. Hugin and Munin. Hugin, since we don't play it, is just to protect our field. It also is another fairy, so if I need like a level 2 fairy for whatever reason, you know,
the surprise Hugin, man, that's like big brain.
Very strong. For Xyz monsters, we play M7, Beatrice, and Zeus. Zeus needs no introduction. Beatrice, of course, being a light fairy that can send light fairies, sending Ava, sending Christia, anything like that. M7 is a very strong card for a lot of reasons, being able to add back anything, and it can even disrupt your opponent's turn if you want to shuffle back like a pedal or something. A lot of cool ideas that you can do from there.
Yeah.
So I was very solid about having this card in my deck. So there were a lot of other tech options, but I felt like these were all very recursive. I wanted to focus on being able to play my game after turns like 2 and 3 of my own. And so that was how I decided to play this out.
Yeah, man, dude, this deck was nuts. The game was nuts. You played well, and it was awesome meeting you and hanging out and playing, man.
Thank you, yeah, right, man. It was a lot of fun.
See you next time, right?
Peace. Yeah, of course.
You want a flyer to take home?
Deck profile over.